Good morning. Welcome to First Verse with Steve and Marissa. We
Yeah.
just concluded the book of Exodus,
We're skipping the numbers.
and we're skipping to Numbers.
My Bible has numbers broken up into 4 parts. So we're getting into part A, which is preparing for the journey. This is verse 1 or chapter 1, verse 1 through chapter 10, verse 10. At Mount Sinai, the Israelites received specific directions for their lifestyle in the new land God would give to them. A census was taken, and the second Passover was celebrated, marking 1 year of freedom from slavery in Egypt. The people were now prepared to continue their journey to the Promised Land. Just as the Lord prepared the Israelites, He prepares us for our journey through life. And then this is chapter 1 is titled The First Census of the Nation.
Okay. Looks like we can get through this in about a month and a week. So let's begin. Numbers 1:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tent of meeting. That we know now as it's not just a place where they meet, that's the tabernacle.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us being smart now. Let's see, tent of meeting on the first day of the second month in the second year after they went out of the land of Egypt. So it's the equivalent of February 2nd. Take the sum of the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers with a number of their names, every male of their polls, or every male by their polls. Poll as in like Poll, not like Pole. From 20 years old and upward, all who are able to go out to war in Israel. You and Aaron will number them by their armies. With you there will be a man for every tribe, each one of the head of his father's house. These are the names of the men who will stand with you. This is about to get fun. Of the tribe of Reuben, Eliezer, the son of Shedeur. Of Simeon, Shelomuel, the son of, oh my lord, Zurishaddai. Of Judah, Nashon, the son of Amminadab. Of Issachar, Nethanel, the son of Zuar. Of Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Helon. Of the children of Joseph. Of Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Amihud. Of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. Of Benjamin.
Okay.
All right.
But I think it's neat that Eliab, the name was used again for one of David's brothers, right?
Yep. That's correct. We got a lot of repeat names in the Bible. Thankfully, they're the ones that you can easily pronounce. Oh, yeah, that's important. There you go. It's kind of important that you have the keys. Just a little bit. Let's see. Of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. Of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gideoni. Gideoni. Of Dan, Ahiezer, the son of Amishadai. Of Asher, Pagiel, the son of Okran. Of Gad, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. Of Naphtali, Ahira, the son of Enan, or the son of Enan. I hope I got some of those right. These were the renowned of the congregation, leaders of the tribes of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel. Moses and Aaron took these men who had been mentioned by name and assembled all the congregation on their first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees according to their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. As the Lord commanded Moses, so he was numbered in the wilderness of Sinai. Oh boy, here we go again. Starting in verse 20, the children of Reuben, the oldest son of Israel, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to their number of their names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all who were able to go out to war. Those who were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500. Okay, it looks like we got a lot of repetition here, so I'm going to summarize it. Of the children of Simeon, by their generations, after their families, those who were numbered of them, even of the tribe of Simeon, were 59,300. You know what? I'm going to write this down so I can give you a detailed report at the end. So Reuben had 46,500. We have a pretty good idea of how many people are in the wilderness at this point. Simeon, 59. You know what? Hang on. Okay, that was a lot of number crunching. So basically, Numbers 1, let's see, verse 20 through 34, through 44, talk about the numbers of all the fighting men from all of the tribes. So to summarize that, because it pretty much says the same thing, just with a lot more words, we have Reuben coming in with 46,500. Simeon coming in with 59,300. Gad coming in with 45,650. Judah coming in with 74,600. Issachar coming in with 54,400. Zebulon coming in with 57,400. Of the tribe of Joseph, there are two tribes within that. Ephraim coming in with 40,500. Manasseh coming in with 32,200. Benjamin coming in with 35,400. Dan coming in with 62,700. Asher coming in with 41,500, and Naphtali coming in with 53,400. Now, if you're paying attention, the tribe of the Levites were not named in that, but we'll get into that in the notes section and maybe coming up here. Let's see if I can bring this to your attention so that you can see it, what I did. So you can visually understand this a little bit better. Put it on pause if you have to. I know it's not glorious. And if I were to edit the video, it would take longer to do. So just take my chicken scratch for whatever it is. Okay. Numbers 1 verses 44. These are those who were numbered, which Moses and Aaron numbered, and the leaders of Israel, being 12 men. Each one was for the house of his fathers, so there were all those who numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers from 20 years old and upward, all who were able to go out to war in Israel, Even all they who were numbered were 603,550. But the Levites after the tribe of their fathers were not numbered among them. For the Lord had spoken to Moses, saying, You will not number the tribe of Levi, nor take the census of them among the children of Israel, but you will appoint the Levites over the tent of testimony and over all of its vessels, and over all the things that belong to it. They will carry the tabernacle and all its vessels, and they will minister to it, and will camp around the tabernacle. When the tabernacle sets out, the Levites will take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be set up, the Levites will set it up, and the foreigner that approaches will be put to death. The children of Israel will pitch their tents, every man by his own camp, and every man by his own standard, throughout their armies. But the Levites will camp around the tabernacle of testimony, so that there will be no wrath on the congregation of the children of Israel. And the Levites will keep the charge of the tabernacle of the testimony. Thus the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. Pretty cool when they do what do as they're told, and they get a lot of stuff done. Kind of like our lives, huh? Well, here's some of the notes, some stuff that stand out. Swaggart brings out some neat stuff. Let's see what he says. In the very beginning, so we know that they're about to go into the wilderness. They don't know about that yet. But he says something interesting here. He says, unfortunately, the wilderness experience seems to be absolutely necessary, at least in some manner, for every Christian. I'll attest to that. The wilderness is where you grow. Ironically, it's where very few life is found. And we've got a wilderness out here in the Permian Basin. It's nothing but shrubs and dirt, and only the strong plants survive. And there's no grass, there's no green grass. There's weeds, but there's no green grass. But weeds thrive in this environment because they take whatever moisture is available and use it to their benefit. And we see weeds as a problem, but ancient medicine actually has people using a certain kind of weed as a poultice. If you know how to grind up the right herbs, you can use it to your benefit if you're in a pinch. Not all weeds are bad. In fact, the children of Israel will be described as weeds at some point because their numbers are just far larger than anything else. So, but every Christian has to go through, every Christian that wants to grow has to go through a wilderness experience. I'm not convinced that no one ever goes through a wilderness experience. Jesus went through a wilderness experience for 40 days and 40 nights when he fasted in the desert. Talk about extreme. And you know what? There's an interesting thing I just thought of. Jesus, the Son of God. So the Israelites were sustained in their 40 years. Jesus went to the desert and fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Instead of being sustained by the Lord by having manna and quail, Jesus was sustained by the word of God, not by the grumbling of his stomach. I wonder if the Israelites could have fasted during that time and see what could have happened. Now, not everybody excuse me, could have fasted, of course, the women and the children, and those who are fighting age. I wonder if they could have fasted that long and have what difference it would have possibly made. And fasting, by just so you know, isn't a superpower. It's just you getting closer to the Lord. If this 603,550 men were to get really close to the Lord, would Korah's rebellion take place? Anyway, food for thought, pun intended. Spiritual food for thought. On a personal note, I find it really interesting that the Lord. So, as the children of Israel escaped Egypt, and they were delivered to Mount Sinai, where the law was given to them, I find it interesting that they didn't immediately go into battle. They were probably pretty upset, had a lot of anger, a lot of residual anger from what Egypt had done to them. So, from an emotional point of view, it would have made sense to go straight into war because they've got plenty of fuel. But let's be honest, a lot of these people did not have any training at or whatsoever, so they had to be trained up. Moses, being a former prince of Egypt, and in I think just by Josephus's account, was a general in the Pharaoh's army who defeated Ethiopia or something like that. Moses could have very well trained them up during this time. Let's see. It's possible some of these men who were slaves in Egypt were in the Egyptian military. Don't know. This is speculation. But here's the big thing: is that God set up his people first before sending them into war. He established a structure and his presence before them before they went into battle. Before all of this took place, they were slaves on the run. Now they are an organized people who have some semblance of who God is and what he can do, and they know how to worship him correctly so that they're not making a golden calf and doing some stupid nonsense anymore. God took the time to set up structure before he sent them to war. I think that is the most important part of all of this. All right, catch us next time for Numbers chapter 2.